You fucking.
Dude, if it wasn't recording this whole fucking time. Oh my god, man. Fucking streaming sucks dick. Alright, so. Since I was a fucking idiot. And OBS likes to not change its audio shit setting. And I have to do it while I start streaming. And I forgot to because I was editing an actual stream on YouTube. I only have earrings on one of my ears. Okay. Basically, I was saying, fuck. I'm gonna just restart the stream and put it in a new video and delete the last video or something. All right, be back in a minute. All right, everybody. What's up? That kind of fucking sucked, but you know what happens. Struggle with streaming. Basically, I was saying that in order to pick a new class for BFA, you gotta not pay attention to things like DPS, you gotta not pay attention to things like damage, which is the same shit. I don't know why I said that twice. All you wanna do is take into account how fun the class, whatever class you want to play is. You want to fucking, if you want to be an alpha badass with a big ass dick, you want to play, you know, warrior. If you just like going in there smashing shit, or you want to play, you know, something relatively simple, go with like mage or hunter. If you want to try the three different class types, the Holy Trinity, you know, tank, DPS, and healer, then go with freaking druid or paladin. Although paladin is a little bit more complicated. Well, no. Alright, so paladin tanking is relatively simple. Paladin DPS is really simple. Paladin healing is pretty easy, but the thing it's mainly for single target tank healing. If you want to play like a fiery badass that like is crazy and you just want to kill everything and burn everybody, then you know, you can play you know, fire mage. And your main mechanic as a fire mage is hot streak, which is passive. 2 critical strikes in a row will cause your next pyroblast or flame strike to be instant cast. Pyroblast is your strongest ability. Strong range attack with long cast time. Basically, you know, it'll do a fuck ton of damage depending on your gear or whatever the fuck. All your spells to deal critical strikes, you'll eventually get combustion at level 40, which means you can use combustion. And then, you know, sure, you'll get a free pyroblast or whatever, but that has a really long cooldown. Scorch, you can, while you're running away or you're chasing after a target, you can use Scorch and you'll be able to cast it while moving. It's pretty much your only castable ability while moving. You still have your Frost Nova because you kind of need Frost Nova because you're a mage and you gotta keep them away from you from damaging you. And you've got your Flame Strike, which is your AoE that you'll get a proc from your 2 critical hits in a row, but if there's not that many people in this small area of impact, well, it's not that small, I guess. If there's like 2 people, you don't really want to use it. You want to mostly use Pyroblast when you get those procs from Hot Streak. Let's see, critical mass. Your spells have a 15% increased chance to deal critical strikes, so that way they make it so that you will most likely get critical strikes a lot of the time, especially higher gear levels. When you get more geared, you'll get more critical strike chance or whatever the hell. And you'll be able to freaking get more critical strikes, and then you'll be able to use Pyroblast more often, or Flame Strike, but don't use Flame Strike unless there's enough people. Bring out my guys. Nightborn Mana Saber's pretty rad. I like that. Gilded Ravasaur's pretty rad. Yeah, so basically just play whatever, if for your main for BFA, just play whatever class is the most fun for you. You know, druids are cool because they can change into different animal types. Mages are cool because they're, you know, badass spellcasters. Warlocks are cool because they're, you know, the strongest lore-wise, you know, class in all of Azeroth. They literally destroyed everything when they developed, you know, basically everyone was racist towards warlocks, and it was seen as the dark arts, like, you know, that shit corrupts the earth. But then they saw that warlocks can be useful, and you can basically control that shit and not destroy the entire planet. And Gul'dan assembled like a team of warlocks, and they pretty much fucked everything. And the mages were like, what the hell is this? The Alliance mages and everything. They couldn't deal with the warlocks. And the warlocks are the most powerful lore-wise, but in BFA they're not going to be the most powerful class because they have been pretty much forever, and it's confirmed that warlocks are weaker now. They're not going to be terrible, but they're going to be basically, you know, where they're going to be basically, you know, middle ground.
I've seen you around here before. Glad I could help.
I'm just trying to get into a dungeon right now. Maybe do some questing content. Open up Discord and see what's happening. Nothing. I'm so lonely. Nobody messages me. Are we gonna land yet? Like, these flight paths are retarded. If you have a flying mount, don't ever take flight paths. Especially if you have max speed flying. You can just, like, look at this dude. This dude just going up and down and around and all this shit. Wasting so much time. You could just fly above the trees in a straight line towards your destination if you have a flying mount, but obviously you guys know this that do have flying mounts because you've been playing this game. or maybe not. Maybe if you're too lazy, you can take, you know, these flight paths, but you can also just press auto run key and be auto running and just flying straight to your destination. You'll get there 2 times as fast. But I'm a low-level scrub that just started this character for convenience. I'm gonna abandon this quest, and then I'm going to start up here.
Interesting.
Loktar.
You're in Hellscream's army now, bitch. Are you a psycho killer? Yeah, I'm a psycho killer.
I've been expecting.
Show me your war face. Leave you. The thing is, I'm on Moonguard, which is very alliance heavy. But there's also, you know, it's I think it's like 70% alliance. Also, basically, everyone playing this game is like max level now, so they're not gonna be running these level 20 dungeons with me. So if me explaining the basic rotations of the class was a little bit complicated before, essentially spam 1, which is your fireball. Wait for you to get critical strikes, and then throw out your pyroblast, which is your most powerful ability. Unless something's running away, you can keep things frozen in place, not bosses apparently. You're you wanna have sorry. You basically wanna have what is this class called? Frost Nova. You wanna have Frost Nova keybound to somewhere you can access it relatively easily. I keep mine on Shift E or E because I don't fuck with macros. It's just keybinds, and it, you know, I keep up with everybody because the way my keybinds are and how I have a Razer Naga Trinity mouse, and you know, I can just access all my buttons. And you know, you can do control. Or no, I don't think you can do control. I think you can do Alt 1 through 0. You can do Shift 1 through 0. So, you know, that's pretty much 20 spells. Like, you don't really need much more than that. But I also have A and D keybound to strafe left and right instead of turn left and right, so that I can free up my E and Q. And I put movement abilities on E, like blink usually goes on E, and Q usually is my defensive ability, my escape or whatever the fuck. And I don't know, I walked over here, I'm not really paying attention. It's difficult for me speaking and playing at the same time, not used to it yet. Apologies. Half of the time, you know, with your crits, with always hitting critical strikes and shit, you won't even need to use Pyroblast, really. You want to be fighting this guy. What you want to do, you don't just want to spam Fireball. You want to use Fireball and then Fire Blast, because you can cast it after you're done casting Fireball, right after, and it'll actually get there before your Fireball, I believe. Yeah, and then if you hit both criticals on that, you'll instantly get a Pyroblast, like right after your opener. There you go. Got a dungeon. I hate being a Nightborn because they're so fucking ugly, but you have some variation. Variety is the spice of life. Oh, I should have gotten a high mountain Turin for Druid. even though I don't even play Druid that much. I like DPS classes. I might main. I know I said all that shit about being a big alpha badass with being a warrior, but I haven't decided between that and rogue yet, because they're bringing a couple changes to rogue, and I've always kind of liked rogue, and rogue's my one of my first classes, the first class that I actually got up to max level in vanilla. The thing with Fire Mage also is your abilities takes a fucking long to cast. That basically might left not getting crits and not sending out pyroblasts as much, but because you gotta actually land 2 crits before you can throw out fucking pyroblast. But the thing is, your spells take so long, fireball takes so long that you might not ever get to it, and you might just be spamming fireballs on the ads. But you know, at higher level content, you choose the larger targets with more health. You'll get it every once in a while. Look at DPS meters, they're like, oh my god, you're so fucking useless. Like, fuck up, bitch. I'm a fucking pyro mage, alright? They take forever. It's because you motherfuckers are killing the fucking monster guys. And you can open, by the way, with Pyroblast, since it has a long cast. You can like go ahead of your group maybe, and then like you know that your tank is about to pull, and I say this on my other class guides or whatever. Use one of your long casts to start off a fight, because it just takes forever to cast, and they're not aggroed yet, so you can open up with a pretty fucking huge damage ability. Yeah. Alright, come on, nooblets. You gotta go down here. Every time I play this state, nobody knows where the fuck they're going. Basically, you want to kill that chick first, then you want to come down here, you want to go up around the fucking ramp, and then you want to kill the bosses up there, then come down and then go the other way and kill the rest of the bosses, and then come back out, talk to Mutinous back at the spawn, and then finish it. And he'll lead the way. People, like, literally every time I play this fucking dungeon, nobody knows where the hell they're going. They like spend forever. They go up, they kill that chick, and then they just keep walking around the circle, and they walk around the whole damn circle, and then they fucking finally actually realize that, hey, we didn't have to kill half those dudes. We could have just fucking. Who am I targeting, man? Stop. Damn. I believe you can, when you get critical strikes with Scorch, it counts also to your Get 2 crits for your Pyroblast. So you can like farm Scorch maybe, get 2 crits with Scorch. I'm not having any luck. And it happens sometimes. A lot of the classes in this game are actually luck-based. You know, the whole game is really luck-based because of the nature of critical strikes. So, you know, sometimes you might not be doing shit, but you might be, you know, using your rotation perfectly. You might set up for something like that, and then somebody else is fucking doing it. It's whatever. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the stream. I'm talking about mains and classes in World of Warcraft for people who are just starting World of Warcraft because it's Battle for Azeroth. And, you know, how to play certain classes and whatever. I'll be running through a lot of the different classes in the stream, teaching you guys the basic rotations and what to look out for. I've already covered Warrior, and right now I'm doing Mage. And what I've been doing is basically discussing the rotations and everything, and getting into a dungeon, completing the dungeon. Yep. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and I have the answer. Usually. Unless it's something ridiculous. And on the topic of, you know, Fire Mage, basically what you want to do is you want to, your main mechanic is Hot Streak, and it's whenever you get 2 criticals, you get a free cast of Pyroblast or Flame Strike, which most of the time you want to use Pyroblast, but basically you want to cast out Fireball, then you want to cast out Fire Blast, because the Fire Blast will hit right before the Fireball actually lands. And if you get 2 crits, you want to cast Fire Blast, which is your strongest ability. If your tank has not aggroed the boss yet, you want to cast one of these. Fire Blast, just for free extra damage, so you don't have to wait to proc. And sometimes if you get a proc like I just did while I was casting Fireball, because I didn't really expect to, you can actually like walk forward and cancel the spell, and then cast Pyroblast. And for anyone that's watching, I was discussing earlier, if you want to choose a main in Battle for Azeroth, don't be looking for things like what does the most damage. If you want to choose your class based on what does the most damage, which you probably, I mean, it might be a class that you like, it might not, and you might just quit, you know. Eventually there comes a point where you don't care about doing too much damage, because there'll always be someone with more gear than, you know, you, typically, or whatever. And, you just want to choose whatever class is the funnest for you. If you like being a badass and being in battle, killing everybody, and choose Warrior if you want to if you want to be a sneaky rogue, then be a sneaky rogue and stab people in the back and be stealth and invisible and shit. Every time I play this, people don't know where the hell they're going. It's really sad, actually. He's cute as the leader, too, isn't he? Come on, man. Basically what you want to do when you play this dungeon, you want to kill this chick first, which you'll come out of spawn, you'll start out the quest and you'll kill this chick. Then you want to jump down into the water and you want to come over here, you want to go up here, kill this dude, jump back down, go all the way around, kill fresh, kill. Well, you want to go in here, you want to go up the ramp, and then you want to kill all these bosses, then jump back down, you want to talk to Mutinous to finish, and then you want to go and kill that guy. My audio working? Yeah, it's working. I'd streamed earlier, but my audio OBS broadcaster didn't pick up my sources, so I had to restart. Out of range. Sometimes, like I just did, you'll open with Pyroblast because your tank hasn't gotten there, or you have time to open with Pyroblast, and you'll get a crit, and then you can cast Fire Blast, and then you'll get another crit, and you'll get another Pyroblast. You just keep it up over and over and over. But odds are that won't happen, but it might, and you might get the fucking most damage in the universe. You just keep getting crits. If you don't have enough time to cast too many spells, if the mob has like no health, then you'll want to cast Scorch. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, it's called Scorch. You can cast it while moving, and it has this slower, smaller cast time. No. You can't cancel Scorches with moving. If you get a Pyroblast proc and you're casting a Fireball and you don't want to waste time and you want to end that proc as soon as possible, you can like walk forward to cancel the spell cast of the Fireball. and then just press 3 and it'll instantly send out Fire Blast. And also your scorches, they do count towards the hot streak proc. So you can cast Scorch and then you can press 2 and then you'll get a Pyroblast like I just did. And also you can use Flame Strike if there's like six enemies around or whatever. There's a shit ton of enemies because you're gonna want to mostly use Pyroblast. Yeah, that'll happen. You'll be set up to do a Fire Strike and you'll die and you'll be looking like a fucking idiot. But such is the nature of Flame Mage, Fire Mage, Pyro Mage. Hot boy. Hot. Venom Wing. More like a dead wing. Got him. Haha, so clever. I'm a Serpent King. I can do anything. Can you climb up walls? Like Spider-Man? I don't think so. False King. Fake. I didn't elect you. I like how he's just, you know, dwelling in a cave, just wearing like some Michael Jackson fucking outfit, and then fucking, I'm the king, Serpent King. He's basically a homeless person that made friends with Snake. Serpent King. Smacks you with a stick. It's great, enemies. And sometimes you won't ever get a fucking critical strike with Fire Mage, and you'll never get Pyroblast, and that's okay. Nature of RNG. RNG this class. You have a fucking 80% chance of getting a critical strike, and you'll never get it. Same thing with Outlaw Rogue. Same thing with you know, Frost Mage. You get a lot of procs. Just because of your likelihood of getting procs or crits is a lot higher, I believe. Yeah. But if you're new to World of Warcraft and you're watching this video because of the title, you're gonna want to set up your keybinds. You're gonna want to use fucking. Did they seriously teleport out and teleport back? They know how to do that, but they don't know which fucking direction.
Peace, friend. May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
basically with fire mage you want to decide on which abilities you have enough time to cast, at least in lower level content. This is the exact dungeon you'll be doing if you are dungeoning while questing. Is what you should be doing if you're trying to level up. To get to the actual Battle for Azeroth content. Even though the Battle for Azeroth content will affect the entire game, so don't be worried about that. You don't have to be at 120 to, you know, experience some of it. You'll have to be level 120 most likely to get there, and actually go to the, you know, Altiras and Zandalari and everything, but also changes like different class abilities and everything will come through. And I do recommend if you're watching this video or stream to, if you're deciding on whether to rejoin for Battle for Azeroth, if you like video games and you spend money on video games and you're not starving to death, I would say yes, especially just to experience, you know, the world and experience what other people are so invested in. And honestly, you won't be able to completely appreciate it until you level a hero up all the way from 0 to max level, and you'll find that you probably have a love for World of Warcraft also. People just don't want to invest the time into it, but you'll eventually see if you invest time into it. And maybe you've been playing like Star Wars Battlefront 2 or fucking, you know, whatever new AAA title game, Overwatch, and like you see games like this and you see their shitty ass textures or whatever, really crappy mesh models. In Battle for Azeroth, everything looks really good, but in the rest of the game, it's kind of outdated aside from like Mists of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor and Legion content. But I'd say like maybe 80% of the game looks like this, or close to it. Also, in Battle for Azeroth, it's been like this like the whole fucking year, but basically they unlocked new allied races, which you can unlock and play, so you're into new races and new looks and everything. You know, you can play those if you go through and unlock the achievements and get them. I'm not sure if they'll make them more accessible. People are saying they should, and everyone wants them to make them more accessible. Like people just want them to be a race that you can straight up choose when you start the game. What else and all that. They might, Blizzard might, but they also might say like that.
I am awake at last.
And yeah. So if you're into the World of Warcraft culture and you want to be immersed in a really good game, try it. There's a free 0 through 20 trial. Level 0 through 20. I'm just gonna get this last Serpent Bloom. And teleport out. And that's why I don't do that. Let's hide this for now. Where is it? There it is. Untrack. And the next time I'm playing that dungeon, I can just turn it in. Which I probably will be, because I'm only level 21. On this character. Hero. Whatever the fuck. What do they even call them? On this tune. There we go. That's what they're called. Alright. On to the next class! On to the next class! Let's see, what can we do? What can we do? We can do Rogue, Warlock. You can go on a max level Warlock or max level Rogue or Shaman, Paladin. I'll teach you guys how to play Paladin. Retribution Paladin, to be more precise. So, basically, this might not be too good. Blessing of Kings. This really should be moved around. Alright, so what I'm doing essentially, and what you should be doing, is the Retribution Paladin. At least for now. The class changes aren't out yet, but I highly doubt that they'll change this very much. Is you have this holy power here. There's a total of 5, and you'll want to build up to 4, I believe, right? Or no, 3 holy power, and then you'll want to use Templar's Verdict, which is your most powerful ability. Unless there is a ton of enemies nearby, then you'll want to use your Divine Storm. And the way you build it up is mostly by Zeal, which I have talented, rather than the original Crusader Strike, because you get, let's see, strike the target for damage, maximum 2 charges, grants Zeal, causing Zeal attacks to chain an additional nearby target, or stack maximum 3 stacks each jump, deals 40% less damage. So Zeal is good for AoE, and also don't overcap, don't obviously use this, which gives you 2 holy power when you're already at 4 holy power. You can use it when you're at 3, obviously, because then you're at 5, and then you'll spend a Templar's Verdict, and then you can do it again. And yeah, so that's essentially what you want to do. But also, as a Retribution Paladin, you'll have things like blessings, you'll have things like Bubble, which I have Divine Shield on Shift E, basically makes you invincible forever, and everyone hates it. This guy's invading everything, so I'll focus down his friend. I was overcapping on holy power, you never want to do that. So basically your main spender ability, what you want to do when you get 3 holy power, 3 of these, or 3 of wherever the hell they are on your default UI, is you want to spend it on Templar's Verdict, and then kill everybody with it. What I'm doing right now is I'm just doing this questline, so when I get my artifact completely pimped out. You can use this to blind everybody for a second, which didn't work. Oh no, that's what? I don't know. Oh, that's shift. Oh, not shift Q. I'm stupid. I don't even know my own damn keybinds. I was using shift key, which is flash of light, which basically you can heal yourself if, you know, you need healing if you're taking on too much damage. So yeah, actually, Retribution Paladin, it's probably going to get nerfed because it was way too easy and way too powerful. You've got Blessing of Protection, protecting for 10 seconds, all physical attacks for 10 seconds. That's not magic damage, that is physical. It is very precise with its language for a reason. It will not protect you from spells. It will only protect you from physical attacks. You've got this DPS cooldown, increases your damage and haste by 3.0% for 28 seconds. Each holder of power spent during Crusade increases damage and haste by an additional 3%. So obviously you're gonna build up to like quite a bit. Shield of Vengeance creates a barrier, basically 15 seconds. When the barrier is consumed, all damage is absorbed and dealt as holy damage divided across all enemies within 8 yards. So you have a lot of AoE. You have this deal does AoE. You have this does AoE. You got your number 5 does AoE, but you don't want to use it until there's a few people. But the thing is, it's really tight AoE, and it's only beneficial if, you know, there are other enemies pretty close. You don't want to overcap on a holy power because then you're just wasting shit. You're wasting your time mostly. I have these two cooldowns down to shift scroll wheel up and shift scroll wheel down because you can essentially use them at the same time if you just have to kick ass. Like you're fighting a bunch of people, you're fucking taking a lot of damage, you want to kick ass. You just shift scroll wheel up, shift scroll wheel down, and you got both of them on. That's what I do. I don't really play Retribution Paladin that much because I don't know, I'm not into the light and a goody two shoes and all that shit. I like either being a warrior or a rogue or a fucking warlock. So if you're taking too much damage, just cast your bubble and then you'll be invincible. Right now you want to cast 5 because there's quite a few people around and do a shit ton of damage. You've got a mobility cooldown, which I have bound to Shift F, which you can use inside in dungeons and everything, and it's pretty good. I have 2 horses that I can come and move you pretty far, pretty fast. If you're not in a fight and you're about to start another fight, feel free to just cast, you know, your heal. It uses quite a bit of mana, but you'll get it back relatively quickly. World of Warcraft used to be like you never had mana and shit, but now it's, you know, it's really, it helps out new players as much as possible. I'm not really geared up, so I'm not going to do too much damage to these guys, but I'm definitely going to complete this, because as a paladin, you're basically, if you die, you're in the wrong ass place. And people must be like 50 levels above you. 6 out of 10, explosives placed. I'm gonna steal that chick's kill right before she kills it. Or maybe not. I overcapped on holy power again because I wasn't paying too much attention. we're all done. By the way, this is pre-patch Battle for Azeroth content. Pre. Where am I going? Why am I going that way? The zone we're in now is Silithus. For anyone who doesn't know, this content is available. It's at the sword, the giant fucking sword in Azeroth. The wound. It completely destroyed Silithus, and now it's just got this Battle for Azeroth content in it. So, if you want to check it out and get your artifact level completely maxed out before the pre-patch is released, or whatever, or even during the pre-patch, I'm not sure when the artifact weapon will be destroyed, but I know it will. It won't be destroyed, it'll just fizzle out and be basically useless. What even is this, man? Is this like a... It's like a, fucking, what is it called? The inscription thing. A glyph. It's a glyph, I think, for travel form. Not sure though. Or no, it might be a mage tower thing. Who knows?
Very good.
Yeah, but gotta kill these fucking bugs. The reason it's doing this shit to the camera is because of my helmet, my transmog. Very fiery. Supposed to be holy fire. I just used that on the wrong thing. By the way, it's okay to get 5 holy power, but you mostly want to keep it down to 3. Or 4, 3 or 4. Watch, I can take on like literally as many as I want, and I'm not gonna die, because I'm a fucking paladin. I'm not even geared out or anything. Look, I'm healing. I don't even know what from. Cause I'm a fucking paladin. Oh, what UI am I using? I am using Guild Wars 2 UI. By the way, Lust, if you're just tuning in, I've been running through a couple classes and basically giving them explanations to all the rotations and discussing what name people should choose in Battle for Azeroth since the content is coming out today. This morning, it's awesome, but I got bored fast. Bored of World of Warcraft? God damn it, these invisible walls and shit everywhere, man. I'm gonna bait these dudes over here. I don't kill these broodlings. Grinding our Gushing Reach because it's needed to unlock one of the allied races. None are unlocked on the account you let me use. Oh. Um, did you want to get Void Elves? Because Argosian reaches for Void Elves. It literally takes like 3 weeks, so I wouldn't expect to get it, quickly. Like 3 weeks of every day going back there and farming for it. Doing all the, world quests and everything. But if you want to skip that, you can still do the, pre-patch stuff. Yeah, I wasn't gonna farm that shit for 3 weeks on 2 different accounts. It's so fucking boring. How to farm it? Well, you can use this account also. And, like, sometimes I go on that other account to play on my 110 rogue. So, and this account has Void Elves and Nightborn, or whatever the fuck they're called. Damn it. You fuckers go away. I'm trying to. Damn it, you made me kill them. I was ready to fuck some more people up. Come on, man. Bring it on. Dude, this shit is glitched. Alright. I gotta fly out of this. What am I going to be maining for BFA? I might main either Rogue or a Warrior. And now that I'm playing Paladin, even maybe Paladin. But I don't like Paladins that much because they're too... Oh, the light! I'm such a good boy. I like being a fucking badass. Depends on which is more powerful, I suppose, Warrior or Rogue and BFA. I hear that Warrior is going to be super OP. So we'll see.
Interesting.
I don't know about that.
Be seeing you.
What? Am I missing quests? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, I played Warrior for a lot of Legion because of the class order hall. How it was all Viking and shit. That was badass. I think it takes like 45 minutes to fly up to the top of the sword with like fucking max flying speed or some shit like that. It's a really big fucking sword. Not 45 minutes, hell no. Maybe like 10 minutes. I saw a video about it somewhere. We gotta kill these fucking ogre guys and shit. Cultists, whatever. Here to worship Sargeras's fucking sword. And then we got this fucking dwarf guy. This outhouse, so we gotta rip the clothes off these guys and give it to them for toilet paper, which is, you know, very nice and lore friendly. Very, very, very nice. toilet paper. I'm not even gonna kill the ads first because I like the challenge. I might stun them, but I'm not gonna kill them. Oh, somebody can ruin my fun. What are you gonna be maining in Battle for Azeroth? This quest is kind of like, it feels like it's busted because you only get like one cloth if you kill like a group of like 50 fucking Twilight Ritualists that are nearby because, I don't know, you only get like one cloth per loot or some shit. Look at, keep getting these procs for the, for this Blade of Justice and then Empire's Verdict, and you can just keep going back and forth and doing that and getting so many crits. Retribution Paladin is the easiest fucking class, and the easiest spec. As of right now, the changes haven't gone through yet, so I can't really talk about too much stuff like that. But I know relatively what's changing, what's not. I never use any of this fucking blessing. I don't play PvP, so I don't use blessing. A little hard to hear over the game sounds when you're in an intense fight. Alright. Let's do that. Is that better? I think I'm gonna queue for a dungeon while I'm doing this. Or even a raid. Sometimes I forget that I'm max level. I didn't know I was that geared. Damn. Oh wait, no, that's Archimond, I think, Deceiver's Fall. Raid time. LFR raids. The best kind of raids where you wipe 10,000 times, even though the content is super fucking easy. And I'm always the last person to die. Unless I get insta-killed by some stupid mechanic. Oh yeah. Keep overcapping. That dude was stunned for forever. He was stunned for all of eternity. And I'm gonna use that. Get back up to max health. No Twilight Silk? Come on, man. Going to make you more sleepy. Have you not gone to sleep yet? These are morning yawns. I'm waking up. Can't stop. wasting resources. Oh, you're awake at 7. Fuck that. I woke up at like 11. Give me my cloth. I just need some fucking cloth, please. I am your distraction. Roar. So scary. Heal myself, heal myself, heal myself. Here we go. Immune. Boy. Wow, King. What the hell are you talking about? I suck at WoW. Alright, I guess I gotta kill this dude because nobody else is going to. Okay. I just need one more loincloth from these dudes. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you, dog. If you don't give me a loincloth, I swear to God. There we go. Finally, damn. Did you acquire the goods? The fucking toilet paper. It came straight out of the cultist fucking butt cracks. Oh, I wonder if it's like Emmett Nessingwary or something in there. Be pretty funny. Or maybe it's it's Angus Stormbrew. I just fucking damn it. Ruined the fun. World of Warcraft, you should have fucking made it like Muradin or Uther or something. Storm Stout. I've always been interested in the dwarves, but I never play one because they're so fucking ugly. Like, why can't the dwarves look like they do in fucking The Hobbit? A lot of the races are ugly as fuck. There's only like 2 good looking races, the Blood Elves, the Void Elves. The Night Elves look pretty good. And maybe the Troll males look okay. Undead look pretty cool, aside from their face and their hair. But the model itself looks pretty cool. You're gonna play a dwarf female or something? At least it's not an orc female.
With his final blow, Sargeras has done much more
Or a gnome.
than bury his blade
Fucking
in
gnome.
the heart of our world.
Kill them all. Sometimes I just want to play on Horde as like a fucking, I don't know, a fucking Tauren warrior and then just destroy all the gnomes and all the fucking humans and shit. I'm playing on human right now. Which I don't like the model at all. I don't know why I made it a human, but I did. Can't go back.
speak for Azeroth. Champion, 'tis good to see a familiar.
Or Tauren. Oh, Tauren females, no.
Since returning from Argus, the cries of Azeroth have been overwhelming. Such pain.
I remember one of the first machinima of World of Warcraft I watched, one of the original series that got me into this game was, well, I've been playing it long before that shit, like I've been playing it since vanilla, but, yeah, Blood Elves, and Void Elves are basically Blood Elves, so, but, the series that really got me into liking WoW, after playing it for a bit in vanilla was Inventing Swear Words from Oxhorn, and they had a fucking, an undead guy, an undead rogue that they were in the party with, that they went on adventures with. And it was like, I'll have my girlfriend do bikini photo shoots for advertising. And they're like, alright, and then he brings out a Tauren female in a bikini, and they're like, no! Stop! Oh, why the hell? Why would you do this to us? And then they had undead Tauren babies. Fucking hell. His name is Mortus or something. Morty. Why are you flying up, stupid fucking... Oh yeah, that's right, there's a ship in the sky that I can't see, apparently. Looks like we're doing a dungeon, not a raid. Oh, there's a ship, it just poofed into existence. Oh! Oh, it won't even... It's like you're flying, you can't open. There we go. What the fuck is this? I don't remember this. Oh, I remember this. Oh. This is a newer dungeon. Looks really nice. Looks really nice. Oh my god, wait for me, you fucking idiots. I'm gonna be the main DPS, and you all fucking suck, so you need me. Done. Done. I wish there was a blessing to increase my fucking movement speed. You did. You did. Oh, you did. Never mind, you're not dead. But you're gonna die. Are we just going down to the fucking middle? Why can't we just jump down? Like, are you guys here yet? You done? Obviously there's gonna be shit. What up, my doggies? Do I have? No. What do I have?
Ghastly curse claim the lives of the prince and his servants.
Can't use that here. Why?
See for yourself
Why?
whether the rose of passion blooms.
No, I don't want to do that.
And now, on with the show.
What is this? Lake crystals. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. I'll get it. Shell. Yes. Don't do that. I don't want to die. Immune. Of course they're immune. Why the fuck would... here, thought. It's smited. The power of light, justice, righteousness. Shit. Silver forks, get the fuck in. Is this Beauty and the Beast? Is this a... The curse doesn't kill you, it just turns you into a fucking wolf.
Oh, Brute, I love you.
I'm actually getting geared up. Dodge attack from the curtain. Here, I'm going to kill you. Holy shit. Big bad wolf, yeah, dude. Oh, fuck with that. Ow. Take Elbots for dying. I'm assuming we're still running. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna kill a couple of these guys. How the fuck is it? What? Thanks for the speed boost. Forget who does that. I think it's Priest. Come here. Somebody kill her. Did he fucking... Oh no. Did he fucking die? No, don't kill me. You stupid. Damn it.
The stench of corruption is upon you. All shall be sanctified. The righteous have nothing to fear. By fire be cleansed.
Are they running a fucking boss fight? How the fuck are they already there? What? Come on, you can do it, Core Hound. Let's go. You can do it. No, he's that. That guy isn't though. Fucking res me, you bitch.
Hold, mortals! Open your hearts to virtue! Renounce your greed and perversion! Repent or die!
4, 3, 2, 1.
A teachable moment.
Man, I wish I could participate in.
All shall be sanctified. The righteous have nothing to fear. By fire be cleansed. I will never relent.
Bratty one, Matilda, Violentia. Is GW2 the only add-on you use? Negatory.
Our friend lies just in here.
Let's see what I use.
It breaks my heart.
I use
Like this.
LVUI I used to use a lot. I use it when I'm reading instead of just leveling. Let's see my mods. I have apparently I don't know the book. This is taking forever, man.
I wonder if Medivh will ever awaken.
Does our old friend dream? Is he trapped in nightmares?
Apparently I have to locate World of Warcraft. What the fuck? No, it's not tracked by Twitch, obviously, because whatever, I'll just look in here. Is nobody gonna res me? Honestly, fuck you guys. Add-ons. Bag Brother, Bagnon. Well, Bag Brother's part of Bagnon. Dynamic Cam. I use it whenever it gets updated. GW2 UI, I use Immersion for the quest things. This is just my immersive leveling setup rather than like raiding. I use deadly boss mods for the bosses, holy for the questing. I use like the different sound packs for deadly boss mods as well. Oh my god, this fucking big ass thing. Okay, well I guess I'll finish this then, since people want to fucking annoying.
These stones have tails.
Yep. Alright, well if you guys haven't seen this, I'll show you.
The sword of Sargeras is poisoning the very lifeblood of the world. The only vessels capable of containing that kind of power are the mighty weapons you wield. Raise them up as one. Draw out the corruption from the Dark Titan's blade. Together, champions, for Azeroth! I speak for Azeroth. You did it! Sargeras' sword has gone dormant. Now, Azeroth's not yet healed, but your actions bought us precious time. The energy coursing through that weapon of yours, I ain't seen nothing like it. But remember, all power comes with a price. I know there's much to face in the days ahead, but no matter what comes, never forget our duty to Azeroth.
On to the next class. I was fucking speaking while my mic was muted like a dickhead. If I were to use add-ons for the normal game, I would use LVUI for the UI. I would use a couple auction add-ons. I would use like a minigame add-ons for fucking downtime during raids and shit. Let's see. Let's do Warlock for now. Alright. So, essentially, what you want to do is, as a warlock, you want to, well, at least an affliction warlock, which is what I'm playing right now, which I'm not even geared for. Let me unqueue. With affliction warlock, essentially what you want to do is you want to place all of your dots on everybody. Refreshing agony maintains its current damage level, so you gotta make sure you refresh it in time rather than letting it fall off and then re-putting it on. So you want to get it before it dies, and then you want to just use corruption, basically keep it up. Put your dots on 2 or more targets up to like it gets more difficult when you have like 3 or more. Afflicts the target with shadow damage. Over 6.8 seconds, you may afflict a target with up to 5 unstable affliction at once. If dispelled, deals shit ton of damage. Life tap obviously restores your mana when you're running out of mana. You use that to get more mana, and you will run out of mana. Most people, I don't use this myself, but most people recommend that you take Grimoire of Service rather than Grimoire of Supremacy, because it's a cooldown, like depending on whatever, like it gives you imp, talent, or people just use imp. So basically when you're in a fight, you can summon another imp, as well as the imp you already have summoned, and you'll do quite a bit more damage. Your main movement ability will be Demonic Circle, like if you have to get out of fights, or whatever the fuck, it's got 15 minutes obviously, so you place it down wherever you want, and then if you're getting fucking raped, and you just go back to it, or you should be able to. But basically, you go back to your demonic circle, and you'll get out of a lot of shit. Also, you got this demonic gateway you can teleport to. Just send it out. With the imp, you can use Cauterize to heal yourself. Also, back to your main DPS rotation, you'll be enabling the dots. You'll be making sure those are up as much as possible, and you'll put seeds of corruption in all the enemies. But you'll also want to detonate the seeds when you have them spread between all the enemies. And during your downtime, you'll use Siphon Life to basically just heal you. And when you're running out of mana, which the Affliction Warlock often does, you'll use Siphon Life and Life Tap. You won't have to use Life Tap that much, but every once in a while during raids, it is a thing that happens. What the fuck is that? Oh. Artifact power. Ooh. Ooh. But my main spec that I use Warlock for right now is obviously Destruction. Basically what you want to do into Destruction is just constantly use Immolate, and then build up Chaos Bolts. Increased by your critical strike chance. Basically, you'll want to use three spells, but you also want to use fucking Havoc, because what Havoc does is it takes all your spells, mirrors them, and does the damage on one other target. So basically, you'll be doing two-man damage, like you'll be doing damage to two people at the same time, essentially. Every time you get channeled demon fire, you'll use that as well. You make sure to use your soul harvest whenever you have plenty of souls. And the rest is basically just situational. Shadow Fury's good for stunning. It helps your tanks and shit. Unending Resolve, obviously, you won't have to use that very much. It just increases your health. Unless your tank's not doing their job, you'll use Drain Life as a filler when you don't have anything else to do, which shouldn't really be that often. Mortal Coil is good for healing and crowd control, and that's basically it. I haven't played Demonology Warlock very much, but I know that you have to basically call your demons, call Dreadstalkers and everything, and then you want to empower them as much as possible. Also, you use Hand of Gul'dan as much as possible as well. And people mostly use Wild Imps unless they're doing solo content. And lore-wise, Warlocks are the most powerful spellcasters in the lore. Backdraft casting Conflagrate reduces the cast time of your next two Incinerates or Chaos Bolts by 30%. Basically, you'll want to use that. Where the fuck is Conflagrate? There it is. Because Chaos Bolt does have has a long cast time. Reverse Entropy, Chaos Bolt, and Rainfire restores 30% of your maximum mana. I like doing that for solo content and shit. And 10% increased damage as well, that's nice. Mortal Coil, obviously, is that one I was talking about before that heals you. And crowd controls, Incinerate now hits all enemies near your target, which is pretty good because you're using Incinerate quite a bit. Burning Rush is just a movement ability. You can use anything else really here too. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, this will all change depending on what kind of content you're doing. Grimoire of Supremacy I like for the AoE aspect of it, and also the Doomguard isn't too bad at single targeting. Wreak Havoc is obviously the best thing you want to do because it'll basically double your DPS. Every time that Havoc is up, you do double the DPS. So, the main purpose of this class, or this spec, is to keep Havoc on another target as you're doing damage. And that's Warlock. I can give a guide on Death Knight or Demon Hunter. Level 110 Demon Hunter, it's my maximum geared character. This Druid is Feral Druid. I haven't played Feral Druid in a long time, so I won't really be too useful in that regard. Demon Hunter. I think my item level is like 945 or something with this Demon Hunter. $894. Never mind. I don't know what happened there. Oh no, my mage is my most geared hero. That's right. Do I have a head of the curve on this? There's that shit. There it is. Ahead of the curve, Argus the Unmaker. Defeat Argus the Unmaker and enforce the Burning Throne on heroic difficulty or higher before opening of the next raid tier. So essentially, I killed Argus on this hero. Okay, Fury of the Eldari is your artifact power. Basically, you'll want to use it whenever you fucking can. 1 minute cooldown, obvi. It just does AoE around you. I like to have my mounts on this right action bar, and I keep them to like random ass keys that are kind of more difficult for me to access. So that's a tip if you just want to get around quickly. Essentially what Demon Hunter is for, at least Vengeance Demon Hunter or Havoc Demon Hunter, the Vengeance Demon Hunter is a, I can give a tutorial on that too, I'm pretty good at it. What your main thing is you have a lot of mobility, so they're really good in PvP, they're really good at, you know, if you get hit with mechanics with the Vengeance Demon Hunter, I don't know what the fuck is up with you. The main thing you want to do is you obviously want to farm you want to farm souls, and you do that with, what the fuck was it? Metamorphosis obviously is your burst window. See the passives. Obviously, every time I want to figure out what a class does, I look at its passives because the passives will tell you essentially what benefits off of each other. Demon Blades, your auto attacks have a 60% chance to deal additional shadow damage and generate fury. Obviously, you know, double jump fucking increases your chaos damage by 31% and your speed by 20%. Shattered Souls, killing an enemy sometimes creates a soul fragment that is consumed when you approach it, healing you for 25% of your maximum health. If the soul fragment came from a demon, you will deal 20% increased damage for 15 seconds. So, what you want to do is if you're solo content farming, you'll want to keep getting shards or souls, and you'll keep picking them up. There'll be purple orbs on the ground, and then essentially you want to fucking, and this shit's all fucked up. You want to deal as much damage to, like, if there's multiple targets, if you got multiple targets in front of you, you essentially want to fell rush through most of them. You'll use this escape because it reduces the movement speed of whoever's attacking you by 70%. So you'll escape when you're getting screwed with Vengeful Retreat. You'll use Fell Rush to deal damage to multiple enemies. Eventually when you get I-Beam, it's your main fucking, like, it does a shit ton of damage. Blade Dance, strike all nearby enemies for a shit ton of physical damage and increase your chance to dodge by 100% for 1 second. So you can use that as you will. Dodge shit. Bellblade, you charge to your target, deal fire damage. Demon's Bite has a chance to reset the cooldown of Fellblade. Chaos Strike, strike your target for chaos damage. Critical strikes refund 20 fury. So essentially you want to build up a shit ton of fury, and you want to use I-Beam all the time, and you want to use Fury of the Illidari. This class is not complicated. It is not. Really is not. Also, this shit might be different from you. That's because I have a change in my talent setup. Fellblade. Charge your target, blah blah. Already read that. Demon's Blade, yep. Auto attacks, yep. Chaos Cleave hits. Chaos Strike hits all nearby targets for an additional 10% damage. That's more of that AoE. Soul Rending, gain an additional 70% leech while Metamorphosis is active. Essentially healing you while Metamorphosis is active a shit ton. Increases the damage you inflict against the target by 25% for 1 minute. 1 minute is a very long time. When the target is slain, you will inflict 25% additional damage against all creature types matching the original target, humanoid, dragonkin, etc. for the remaining duration. So that's just your DPS cooldown. As a 2-minute cooldown, you'll want to use it during fucking, you know, boss fights. If there's gonna be a fight where there's enemies after, obviously use it towards the end. Throw Glaive now has 2 charges and snares all enemies hit by 50% for 6 seconds. Which, you know, that's self-explanatory. You're running away, you can just fucking You use Vengeful Retreat, and then you fucking throw glaives at them, and then they can't fucking catch you. I-Beam causes you to enter demon form for 8 seconds after it finishes dealing damage. So, this build that I have is essentially around I-Beam. You can also use a Chaos Blades build, Spell Barrage. I don't really see people use that too much. And there you go. That's all that shit. Now, as for Vengeance, essentially what you want to do is you have tanking cooldowns. You have Razor Spikes. While Demon Spikes is active, you deal 30% increased physical damage and your melee attack snare targets by 50% for 6 seconds. So, you want that. And this is for solo content, and it generally works in raids for single target. Piece of Soul, Soul Cleave. Obviously, your tank, you're going to take Soul Cleave, because it heals you for a shit ton. For here, it really doesn't fucking matter too much. I choose Spellblade usually. Soul Cleave is what you want to use all the time so that you stay alive and get more healing. And essentially, you'll be using Demon Spikes a lot of the time. You'll be using Infernal Strike a lot of the time, just for getting to places. And even if you're at where you want to be attacking, like say there's, you know, you fucking jump over here and you slam, you can still do it in like the same location, just an inch away. You don't have to be super far away to use it, so you can use it to deal a little bit more AoE, even though there's other shit you'd rather be doing. Demonic Symbol, dealing damage, reducing the damage they deal to you for 40%. So, use that to stay alive, use this to stay alive, use fucking this to stay alive. There's a talent, or there was, that essentially you would use Immolation Aura and it would increase your health. This essentially, for taunting, you won't really need to use that if you're using your AoE abilities. Sigil of Flame, if you have these sigils, Sigil of Flame basically burns everybody. It's an AoE, like, you can keep aggro with it. Sigil of Misery, basically cower in fear, disorienting for 30 seconds. Sigil of Silence is really good because it will keep them from casting spells when they're in that shit. Shear. Shear's an enemy, has a chance to shatter a lesser soul fragment from your target that heals you for a shit ton of health when consumed. So, use that. Use these wards. Bam. So, your Metamorphosis turns you into a big ass scary tank guy. You're gonna eat some cheeks. Use that when you have to stay alive, which is all the time. You want to stay alive. Use this to do AoE shit. Use this to do AoE shit. Use fucking, use Shear to stay alive. And, basically what Shear will do will it'll give you, the soul fragments. And you'll want to pick them up when they hit the ground. You can use your movement abilities to get to them, or whatever the fuck. You can just run around in circles around the boss that you're fighting. And yeah. So your main abilities, or your main mechanics, is to create soul shards and pick up the soul shards to stay alive, but also use these sigils to fucking, do AoE aggro and keep them on you. This, obviously, consuming a soul fragment, which you'll want to be doing all the time, is very good as Vengeance, because Demon Spikes is something that you want to use all the time. 30% increased physical damage in your melee attached snare targets, and also increases your parry chance by 25%, and reducing physical damage taken by 26% for 6 seconds. So, that's a lot of shit that happens during this one spell that you get all the fucking time. It's your main, your lifesaver, your shits. Empower Wards reduces magical damage. Obviously use that when you're taking magical damage because you're a tank. Damage mitigating is a big thing, as well as self-healing for the Vengeance tank. Quick and sigils, just use it. Doesn't, you know. Obviously, you straight up want to fucking get AoE aggro all the time. Quick reactions. You can even do a macro so that you can, like for example, with my Razer Naga mouse, I can just press one of these buttons and cast one of the spells, but it'll also cast where I'm pointing. You can set up macros to do that, and it'll automatically activate the spell, and instead of having to click a second time, it'll click for you instantly, and wherever you're pointing your cursor, it'll place it. And that's what the best Vengeance Demon Hunter tanks do. Level 108, you know, it's up to you. Pain generation. Essentially, pain is your rage. It's your resource for spending on these soul cleave and shit like that. If you want more demon spike shit, obviously go with this. Soul Barrier, I know a lot of people use Soul Barrier, and Last Resort, you know, you never actually want to be in that situation. But Vengeance tanks, Demon Hunters are some of the best tanks you can get as of right now. I'm not quite sure how that will change in the future. While you're in Metamorphosis form, you do generate pain. So, you'll be able to use those. Also, some of your abilities fucking change. But, essentially just be severing their shards from their fucking bodies and then consuming them for healing. And keep yourself alive with demon spikes and shit like that, and you'll be good. So, that's essentially how you play Vengeance Demon Hunter. It's a really good class. It starts off at level like 98. So if you want to skip through content or whatever the fuck, you know, it starts off at a higher level. But I believe you have to already have a hero that surpassed that. So, Death Knight. Heresy. What is she, a rogue? Wow, cringe. Okay. Bam. I like this spell a lot. This spell is fucking badass. They do generate taunt, so you have to be cautious with that, because they will steal aggro from your tank. But as long as your tank can take back the aggro, it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, I've got certain talents. Oh, well, serve your raised dead spell summons an additional skeletal minion, and its cooldown is removed. So, raised dead, essentially, where is it? There it is. Bam. You got your minions that you're using, and the specialization I'm using is Unholy. Unholy is the best DPS class as of right now in PvE. But Frost is really good in PvP, and Blood is a tank, obviously. So, all will serve. Additional skeletal minion. A lot of people also choose Ebon Fever because the point of this class is to spread pustules and plagues and everything, and then burst them like spreading disgusting fucking pimples on people and then blowing them up and shit. Asphyxiate is one thing you really want to use because it's a pretty long stun. But I personally like Sludge Belcher because, you know, it just gives more passive damage overall when you have it out, which you should have it out pretty much all the time if you're in a party. Lingering Apposition, you know, it's just you know, people use fucking Corpse Shield and Spell Eater. It really depends on what content you're running. Spell Eater's really good for certain raids, obviously. Wraith Walk is my main, you know, it's your main movement ability. Gets you to places pretty quickly. Infected Claws, your Abomination's Cleaver, which goes along with this pretty well. Has a 35% chance to cause a festering wound on the target. Dark Arbiter, this, you know, this is all, people use Soul Reaper a lot. Afflicting them with Soul Reaper. Bursting a festering wound on the enemy afflicted by Soul Reaper grants 7% haste for 15 seconds. Stacking up to 3 times, so you get 20-something% haste, which is pretty good. Makes you cast your gas spells a lot quicker. I personally like all these minion-based abilities. People, yes, it may possibly be easier. You'll want to use Death and Decay, obviously, as much as you can when there is fucking AoE. You'll want to use Anti-Magic Shell if you have to stay alive. Chains of Ice is a pain in the ass because it slows you by 70%. I believe that's being reduced to like 30% or some shit like that in BFA. Apocalypse is your artifact ability. Strikes the enemy, dealing a shit ton of physical damage and bursting up to 6 festering wounds on the target. Summoning a member of your army of the dead for 15 seconds for each burst festering wound. So essentially, what you want to do is you want to put festering wounds on people. Where is it? Where is it? Outbreak deals a shit ton of shadow damage and surrounds the target in a miasma lasting for 6 seconds that causes the target and all nearby enemies to be infected with Virulent Plague. Virulent Plague, a disease that deals a shit ton of shadow damage over 21 seconds. It erupts when the target dies, dealing shadow damage divided among nearby enemies and has 30% chance to erupt each time it deals damage. So that's basically your AoE, and it spreads to everyone, and when there's a shit ton of people use that for AoE. I have this Epidemic talent, which is the Virulent Plagues to flare up, so basically Epidemic feeds off of Virulent Plagues. So when you have a shit ton of Virulent Plagues on a shit ton of enemies around you, you want to use Epidemic. And 3 charges, yeah, so just keep using Epidemic every time you have a shit ton of those. I like having badass minions all over the place, so that's why I took this talent. Not the best, but oh well. I'm not the best raider. I'm not in maximum level mythic rating, so, and most people aren't, and most people that watch this video will not be. So Icebound Fortitude, obviously is your defensive cooldown. You want to use that. Control Undead. If you're fighting an undead, it doesn't hurt. You know, you want to use this for AoE. You want to use this for defensive cooldown. So basically, mostly what you want to do is use this for your Abomination. You'll use this to empower your Virulent Plagues, which you'll send to everybody using this. And this causes your Festering Wounds to burst. And your Festering Wounds, you'll get... Oh, you're a Mythic Raider, huh? Festering Wounds, a Pustulant Legion that will burst on death or when damaged by Scourge Strike, dealing shadow damage and generating 3 runic power. And your runic power you want to build up and spend on shit like Death Coil or Death Strike. Death Strike does heal you for 10% of your health. That's basically it, yeah. You'll just want to farm these, put up to, I think, 4 Festering Wounds. And when you have 4 Festering Wounds, you'll want to burst them with this. And before you really get into that, you'll want to spread Outbreak to everybody. And once everybody has Virulent Plague, you'll use this to pump up Virulent Plague and make it super fucking nasty and kill everybody. And that's essentially it. Oh, and Mind Freeze to interrupt spellcasting. That's basically... I'll do Feral Druid as well. Feral Druid is obviously a lot like Rogue. You build up combo points and then you spend them on finishers. RIP. People recommend that the first finisher you use after building up combo points with Rake and Shred. Shred deals 50% increased damage while stealth and has double the chance to critically strike. Deals 20% increased damage to people that are bleeding. So, essentially what you want to do is you want to build up combo points. You can use either one of these, doesn't really matter, but most people suggest you use Rake more often than not. This is essentially a fucking DPS cooldown. You just want to use it whenever it's off cooldown. It does a shit ton of damage. You use like this for AoE. You'll use apparently a completed daily quest. I don't remember that. Swipe nearby enemies inflicting a shit ton of physical damage. So this is an AoE as well. So you got your AoE, you'll get your Skull Bash, which is essentially you can move really quickly. This is your survival cooldown. This is Savage War. You'll use this to gain damage, right? Yeah, increased damage. So what you want to do is you want to build up combo points and then you spend it on Rip. And you want to make sure they're bleeding, and then as they're bleeding, you'll use Shred to gain more combo points, but it costs a lot of energy. So you'll want to make sure you have energy, and then after you fuck up them as they're bleeding with Shred, here we go. Put a Rake on them, then Shred, and you'll notice that I get procs for this because they're bleeding and shit. It's really nice. Also, it doesn't hurt every once in a while to use Regrowth on yourself. I believe that's a talented ability that I have, that I can stay in Feral while regrowthing, correct? No. No, it's not. They just changed that. That's cool. Yeah, but essentially after, you'll want to keep this up as well for like raids and you know, shit like that where you gotta move. Don't waste it. Use it in actual times where you actually, you know, can use it. The damage of all your attacks by 15% for their full duration lasts 8 seconds. Oh, I want to start off. In Prowl, you'll want to use Shred. Bam, you'll come out of fucking Prowl, and then you'll want to build up combo points. You spend them on Rip when you have all combo points. Then that'll last for 24 seconds, dealing 1.1 million damage, or based on whatever your stats are, it'll do more. And then as your target's bleeding, you want to Shred some more, and then you'll use Savage Roar, and you'll want to have fucking Tiger's Fury up just as a DPS cooldown whenever you're in like boss fights or whatever. That's basically it. It's not that hard. It's just like Rogue. You build up combo points and then spend them. But you gotta remember what you need to spend them on. If your target's about to die, sure, you can use Ferocious Bite. So yes, 25% health, refresh the duration of your rip. So if they're on 25% health, use Ferocious Bite when you have rip up, but don't bother using it when you don't have rip up, because then you can shred into it and deal more damage. Also, you have this Incarnation King of the Jungle. It's a DPS cooldown, reduces the cost of all your abilities, increases the maximum energy. So essentially, as Feral, you'll never have to, I am not listening to music, no. So essentially, you have to use your artifact and fit it into your rotation whenever you're not doing anything else, which is hardly ever, but basically whenever it's off cooldown, you need it. And you'll want to have this up. You'll want to have this up right before you do a shit ton of damage with your shredding on your bleed targets, and then refreshing with Ferocious Bite. And that's basically it. I never, ever, ever play Guardian, but I know that basically what you want to do as Guardian is it's a lot about knowing what types of damage you'll be approaching, depending on what content you're doing. Because you have Bark Skin, you have Iron Fur, you have so yeah, that's basically what you want to keep up. You have Frenzied Regeneration, which heals you. You'll have Incapacitating Roar is really good for CC. And then the rest of your shit is just, you know, doing damage, spending rage. Survival Instincts is good for surviving. You can use Regrowth while you're in bear form, I believe. Thrash Swipe, Moonfire, and will have a 15% chance. Refresh the cooldown on Mangle. Mangle generates a lot of rage, and you'll use it as your main DPS. So, against bleeding targets, your targets will be bleeding a lot of the time. If you use, what is it? Well, other people will cause your targets to bleed also, so people are bleeding a lot of the time. So yeah, Feral Druid, build on your bleeds. If you have people bleeding, make sure they're bleeding, and then fucking use your fucking shred their wounds and shit. And make sure to use Iron Fur, use Bark Skin, and use Frenzied Regeneration a lot of the time. Basically all here. AoE, these are AoE abilities for you to keep aggro. Mainly as a tank, you gotta keep aggro. As restoration, essentially what you want to do is use AoE healing when you have a lot of, you know, people around that need healing. Use rejuvenation, keep it up on people like your tank. You want to keep rejuve on the tank. You want to use, you know, regrowth if you really need to, you know, keep your tank alive. Does a lot of healing, and then even after that, it does a lot of healing over time. Wild Growth is your group heal, your AoE heal. Heals healing over time. Essentially, Restoration Druid is one of the most complicated specs for healing, but it's all based on healing over time. So yeah, and Life Bloom, healing over time, Healing Touch. Healing Touch is the thing, but that you want to use most of the time for like your tank, but you also want to have all of your healing over time effects, you know. Obviously, Tranquility will be your fucking, essentially your heal cooldown. When you have a shit ton of people nearby that need a shit ton of healing, you'll use Tranquility. Bam. I never even played these classes, but I played them at one point for a long time, and I essentially know a lot about them. see what else. I already went over Hunter quite a bit. I didn't go over the different specs, but I went over Beast Mastery Hunter. The reason I didn't go over Marksman Hunter is because it's changing a lot. I went over Frost Mage and Fire Mage in the past. We can take a look at Windwalker Monk. Also, I know quite a bit about Brew Monk and Mistweaver Monk. So, essentially, you know, you have a lot of mobility as this monk. You'll have your, what was it? It was like flying kick or something. You have a lot of mobility. So make sure to use a mobility. You obviously won't have to use healing too much if you're fucking if you're Windwalker. I was looking at Mistweaver, I don't know why I had that active. Let's see. Yeah, you still have that still have a fuse, that's what I was thinking of. So basically what you want to do is you want to farm up combo points, which is chi points, essentially the same shit. And then you want to spend it on you know, Rising Sun Kick decreases, does a lot of damage and decreases healing. Your Blackout Kick will be your main filler when you're not using Fists of Fury. Or Spinning Crate Kick, which is a nice AoE. Or Rising Sun to decrease healing. And then essentially, you'll want to use Touch of Death whenever it procs. So I believe that's when they have attack will take a damage equal 50% of your maximum health reduced against players. I don't know when it procs, but whenever it procs, you want to use it. Alright, looking at the passives. Windwalking, 10% increased movement speed. Combo strikes, your abilities do 20% damage, more damage when they are not a repeat of a previous ability. So, split into 3 elemental spirits. Does a lot of damage. Increases your damage overall a shit ton whenever it's off cooldown. Or wait. What? You can pretty much keep that up a lot of the time. No. Yeah. Keep it up a lot of the time. Zen Pilgrimage, it just sends you home to the temple. Your body and spirit swap locations, so basically you can use it when you're Zen Pilgrimaging. Your artifact cooldown, obviously you want to use it whenever you have it. Your Touch of Karma, directed to the enemy. All damage you take is nature damage. It's good for solo content. When you're taking damage, you just fucking be like, hey, take this, and then they're like, oh. Kill an enemy, summon a healing sphere, healing you for a lot of health. When you kill an enemy with Blackout Kick, you deal 50% chance to summon a chi sphere, granting 1 chi when you walk through it. So you'll have these spheres drop, and you'll want to pick them up. Disable is really good for AoE. Crackling Jade Lightning is good for knocking back melee attackers. Detox, obviously you guys know what detox is. Paralysis is essentially your disabler when you want to keep people out of the fight. Flying Serpent Kick is really good for mobility and also AoE damage. Resuscitate is your revive. Provoke you won't need because you'll be DPSing, and that's essentially it. When you can use Touch of Death, you use Touch of Death. When you can use Strike of the Windlord, you Strike of the Windlord. But your main filler ability that you want to spam all the time is Tiger Palm, and then you want to spend it on like you decide one of these 4. So essentially Blackout Kick, so you can get that So you can get, what was it? There, a chi sphere, another chi sphere, which grants you chi in return. It's 50% chance. So yeah, basically you spend one chi and you can get it right back if you're lucky. This reduces healing. This is a nice AoE. Spinning Crane's kick damage is increased by 40% for each unique target you've struck in the last 15 seconds with Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, or Rising Sun Kick. So, since you get a combo strikes bonus for 20% damage, which is quite a bit because it's 20% overall damage, you want to use this, and you just want to use different abilities all the time. But if they're not receiving any healing, your Rising Sun Kick won't be too great, so you'll mostly want to spend it into Fist of Fury, or Spinning Crane Kick. As for talents, everyone uses Chi Burst or Chi Wave. It depends if you want some healing or you just want a lot of damage. And this has a 30-second cooldown. This is 15-second cooldown. It's really up to you. Nobody really uses Eye of the Tiger too much. This is, you can use Tiger's Lust to increase the speed of one of your allies. So if you have a fucking, if you have a warlock that doesn't want to lose health, or if you have a warrior that doesn't know how to use his movement abilities or whatever the fuck, you can just give them 70% increased movement speed for 6 seconds. And also it removes roots and snares, so people use that for roots and snares. Chi Torpedo people use for, all this is just movement. I like Celerity myself, or Celerity, I don't know what the fuck. Ascension, everyone uses Ascension typically, because this is 1 minute cooldown, and this is passive, and increases maximum chi, so you can, instead of having 6, you can have 7. Leg Sweep is really good for reducing damage and stunning enemies. This is good for if you don't have a tank or whatever, you're doing solo content. Ring of Peace. Enemies that enter will be ejected from the ring, so, I mean, make of that what you will, but most people use Leg Sweep. Dampen Harm, obviously good for solo attacks. Diffuse Magic, good for solo content. Healing Elixir. This is really good for when you're about to die. This is really good for if you want to actively mitigate damage. This is really good for if there's a bunch of magic. Invoke Juan. Everyone always uses this, just cause it does a lot of damage and it's fucking cool. 8 combo. Each successive attack that triggers combo points in a row grants 2% increased damage, stacking up to 6 times, so you'll get 12% increased damage. Summons a whirling tornado around you, causing a shit ton of damage over 5 seconds to enemies within 8 yards. Good for AoE. Applies Mark of the Crane to up to 2 nearby targets. So, Chi orbit every 5 seconds. An orb of energy forms and rotates around you until it impacts an enemy, dealing damage. Not that great. Performs a devastating whirlwind upward strike, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. Only usable while Fist of Fury and Rising Sun Kick are on cooldown. Enter an elevated stance of mental and physical serenity for 8 seconds. While in this state, you deal 45% increased damage and healing, and all chi consumers are free and cool down 100% more quickly. Replaces Storm, Earth, and Fire. So, if you don't like Storm, Earth, and Fire, take this, but it's a 1.5 minute cooldown, so watch out for that, because Storm, Earth, and Fire does not have that long of a cooldown. It doesn't have any fucking cooldown, actually. Oh yeah, and this throat jab, spear hand strike, interrupt spell casting. You want to use that. You want to use this for, you know, it just travels in a straight line and does a lot of healing or damage. You want to use this when a lot of people around you need healing. You want to use this when you're dying. You want to use this when you gotta get around places. Yeah. Also, you've got roll. You've got infuse for when people need healing, and mostly you want to use touch of death or killing people. You want to use touch of karma if you're taking aggro for whatever reason you would be taking aggro. And that's essentially it. And I have to use the bathroom. So, I'm going to be back in a minute, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I may continue this and give a tutorial on like one more class. We'll see. And be back in a minute, guys.